Well, welcome to the Becoming Better podcast. Excited for you guys to listen today. Jason, Corey, and myself, Josh, are talking about this Sunday's sermon. We had a guest teacher in, Glenn Elliott, joined us while we continued our walk through the Gospel of Luke, specifically talking about Jesus's encounter with a young man who is dead. And what we come to realize is this story seems to be maybe less about even that miracle and more about the mom that Jesus interacts with. So it's a really cool conversation. If you haven't yet listened to this week's sermon, I'd encourage you to push pause, listen to that. It'll help make this conversation make a little bit more sense. As always, you can do that by just scrolling up and seeing the podcast right above this, and you can find this Sunday's message there. Well, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy this episode. Let's jump in. Hey, everybody.
Happy Monday, everybody.
I'm glad to be back. Third week in a row for me.
It is. Yeah. Corey's he's become a regular. Let me get this kid a mic and get him up in here. I love it.
Start watching the stats. Just trend down.
Yeah,
over the past 3 weeks.
That could be it. Well, okay. So here's the...
Wait, well, tell everybody why we have Corey again.
This week, Nate is at camp with middle school kids. So Nate, being our new Prescott student pastor, and our Prescott Valley student pastor is currently unavailable because they had their second kiddo. Whoop whoop! Shout out to the Ulriches. Congrats. So Nate and Chase, and I think that's it from the actual staff. I know we got a couple interns that are hanging out, but they're UCYC this week with 7th and 8th graders. So my son is one of them, and his friend, who is on the baseball team with him, is going as well. And all I heard last night was, "Hey, Judah, I'm going to bring 4 monsters." That's what I heard.
Boy.
And I went,
that'll go well.
Woo! That feels like Judah's like, I looked at him and go, "You're not bringing any. You're just not a monster type kid. We don't do that in our home." So I was like, "You want you want some snacks? You want me to?" Apparently, you're not allowed to take snacks, but we took snacks. I don't know.
Weird. You can sneak them.
He got some Hostess donuts.
Nice.
That's what he wanted to take, and a bag of Doritos. I was like, "You want nothing to drink, man?"
I heard somebody talking about their kid going to camp, and they have fountain drinks accessible.
Oh, yeah.
24/7, whatever, they're and a kid who comes from a family that doesn't drink very much and just smashing those fountain drinks like all day.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, maybe once a week our kids may have a soda. We have it, so we go out to eat, we usually let them get which is crazy because they're so expensive when you go out to eat, but if it comes with a kid's meal, that's like our deal. If you get a kid's meal, which my boys don't really love getting kids meals because you get a free drink. If you get an adult meal, you gotta get that water. So that is I make them figure out what do they want to do. You want to get that kids meal? That's why I think they love Chili's, because you get that 3 for me, includes a drink. All right. Anyway, so before we just ramble down the cost of soda's out. I went camping a couple weekends ago, and the older gentlemen that were at the camp swear that sleeping with only your underwear on keeps you warmer than having all your clothes on in a sleeping bag or covers. I feel like that was a very... I was freezing. Let's go. I had everything on. I had a sweatshirt on. All I could think of to put on my body. And I was rather chilly because it was cold. We were up in Williams. And all of these, I watched them get up and they ain't got no shirt on. And I'm like, no, that's how you stay warmer. So, do you think that's true? They swore to me it was scientifically debatable that this is true, that you're warmer if you sleep with less materials on your body than more. What do you think?
Well, I don't camp enough to have an opinion. Okay, so again,
What does common sense tell you?
common sense tells me to listen to the guys who do this all the time. I know some of the guys you went with, and if they tell me this, I'm all in. So
Common sense tells me that's a wives' tale, the old wives' tale. No way.
yeah. Oh yeah, because it's like your body heat getting trapped by the bag instead of having multiple layers of I can see some I buy it. Again, I know the guys you went with, and if they told me that, I'd trust them.
So I've heard that if you have somebody else near you,
yeah,
you get skin to skin.
Yes, and that would be. But that's another I don't know. I guess I was just gonna say that's like another person's body heat, though. Like if it's just you by yourself.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I felt like it was crazy talk. It just felt.
And who woke up cold?
I for sure woke up cold. I for sure woke up freezing. 2:30 in the morning. Man, I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and it was like, oh man.
What are you doing going to the bathroom at 2:30?
That's a great question, Jason. That's a great question. I don't know. It's cold. It was so cold, my body just couldn't handle it. You're right. I'm not the old guy yet. Exactly.
I think that's the bigger problem here.
All I know is I had to get up and go to the bathroom.
You should be seeing your doctor about that.
I was like, man, I gotta go pee. Yep, I do. If I get up out of these covers, I bet I could just lay here. I probably laid there for a little, and then I just couldn't get warm. Once I got up and it was over. My body was just way too cold, and I had a sweatshirt on, I had my hood over because my head and ears were cold. And I watched those dudes get up in the morning. I was like, you don't have any clothes on? Like, no, you're warmer. I was like, no, you're not warmer. It felt crazy to me. Yeah. So you're not.
What's crazy to me is how you could sleep with a sweatshirt on. That is so much clothing for sleeping. Man, a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Man.
I had a sweatshirt, a long sleeve shirt, an undershirt under that, pair of pants, pair of shorts, had socks on. Bro, I had it all on. Every bit of it.
Wow.
And a blanket. I did sleep I slept in the back of the truck on an air mattress. And bro, I thought I was crazy. It's called a bed. The truck is called a bed. Why would you not sleep on the bed of the truck?
Yeah.
Are you a big camper?
We actually went camping this last weekend.
Really?
With the kids, yeah.
Stayed in a tent?
Yeah, in a tent. We went up to the Grand Canyon actually because I ended up taking Thursday off, and then we went up to the Grand Canyon on Thursday and did pitch the tent and everything. It was just we
free
did
camp.
not have. No, it was at the campsite. It's like $30 at the campsite. I don't think you're allowed. I'm sure there's spots you can free camp.
Yeah.
But, so, anyways, yeah. It was good. It's just, for me, Linda won't do the air mattress. We can't, because we got kids. I get it. All the moms listening are probably like, yeah, of course you don't have kids on an air mattress. But I'm like, can we just get an air mattress? Because then they sink in. I don't know, man. I don't know. So we had these dinky mats, and I slept horribly. But
you can't do an air mattress?
I don't know, Josh. Talk to Linda.
For child safety?
Yes. If the air mattress deflates, they can sink into it and get lost down there, I guess. I don't know.
It's not like it's just okay.
So
I mean, for sure you end up rolled up like a taco. It's always in an air mattress. Definitely.
So I guess yeah, there's not enough space for each of us to have an air mattress, so it'd be like one big shared air mattress. So I guess the concern is I would just roll over.
That's probably true. So, I get that. That's a true statement. So you're okay. So you got to take all the things, or are you just a minimalist camper?
Try to be as minimal as possible because I don't want to pack it, and then you got to unpack it all too. I don't want to deal with that. So,
interesting.
Yeah,
you're not much of a. You just went though on a camping trip, right?
Yeah, we do the RV thing. My wife is not going to be she is not in a tent.
I'm trying to convince Diana. The boys, they do enjoy it. They had a blast. Amos got to go. It was his first time. And so.
Yeah. My kids love it too.
Yeah.
And it's fine. But.
It's a lot. It is a lot of work. You got to take a lot of stuff.
The RV's great though.
Yeah. I think I need to invest in that life. and get that. So anybody listening in church, just got a couple RVs sitting around, because I know you're not in it every weekend. No. I see my neighbors, and their RV sits there 50 weeks a year.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to,
just go rent it. Just go rent it. It's fine.
If you just wanted the Garretts to, bless your pastor. No, I'm just playing. So I'm just playing people. Yeah. But
okay, I did pull it up on ChatGPT here, and it says heavy layers. Many people assume that piling on clothes always makes them warmer.
It does.
That's not always true. If your clothing is thick and compresses the sleeping bag insulation, it's tight enough to restrict circulation, and you end up damp from sweat, you may actually lose warmth in your sleeping bag.
I just can't believe it, man.
I'm just telling you what the benevolent overlords are giving us on the
I just need
AI
to say,
machine.
I am so proud of you, Jason, because you said Chat GPT instead of Chat GTP.
He has gotten better.
I am, wow. That was great to hear him say it the right way.
He has gotten a lot better. He has.
You people.
Well, I know one of our listeners will be pleased that we spoke of this, and the two young guys are, jury's out. The other old person in the room seems to fall with the other old people. So there you go. All right, well, let's jump into the weekend. This past weekend we had Glenn Elliott was teaching with us here. He was the lead pastor down at Pantano Christian Church in Tucson for many years, as Jason mentioned. Now he is in a group. Jason is with Glenn. They hang out like quarterly. I think you guys get together, you and him and
Couple other pastors, three other guys.
Yeah. So they hang out and do some stuff. And so Glenn's a really great guy. Enjoyed having him up here with us. He was with us last year and again with us this year. And apparently, like you said, he told the story again that he preached his first sermon here at our church. And so, he said it was really short. That's
right. It so tracks.
It is. I remember doing the first one. I was like, gosh, I'm going to talk forever. And then it was like, I'm done. That's all I got.
That was all the things that I have to say right there.
Now it's the opposite. It's like, I'm gonna need to cut some things. It's way too much. But anyway, so Corey, what were your thoughts? Obviously, you know, you got to hang out here in Prescott. So
yeah, no, I think Glenn did a great job. I have always enjoyed the times he does come here. There was the one piece that I thought was so. It's applicable for just about all of us. I mean, all of us to some extent have encountered death, and the people that we love, and so the idea that when Jesus meets death, death loses.
Yeah, it was a great line.
And it doesn't always. Obviously, we always want it to look like the context where the person either, like in this story, I mean, the person is dead and now comes back to life. Like we always want Jesus, when Jesus meets death, to heal the person that is going to die, that's about to die. And it was just, I felt like it was the good reminder of like sometimes when Jesus meets death, it's not going to end up the same way this story does, where the person makes it.
Yeah.
But regardless, even in the loss of a loved one, Jesus still is there, and Jesus has still defeated death, defeated death, I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just thought he threw that up on the screen, and it was well said.
That was a good line.
Yeah.
Jason, you got to hang out all three. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think Glenn fits our church really well. Just exegetically walking through that text. There was so much of that sermon. I'm like, oh yeah, that I would say that. Yep, that just fit. I mean, so much of it. He just fits, and it fits so well with the sermon series. So I'm just really grateful. You don't always get that when you have a guest pastor,
right?
And so I was just blessed by it. It was so good to hang out with him. I will say, I got tired of all y'all's comments about how great his hair was. So for all of you,
my wife took a shot at me about that.
70 years old, like he's got a nice head of hair and it's nice and black. And so everybody felt like they needed to make sure I notice that. As if I don't notice that every time I see the man.
My wife straight took a shot at me too. Like, he's 70. Look at all that hair, and I was like, ouch. I was like, that's a little hurtful.
It is.
That was hurtful.
Yeah.
She did do the he's 70?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he definitely, you wouldn't think 70.
No.
Yeah, you for sure wouldn't think 70.
And I get that when people, you're only 49? Wow. It's like, so I get it on the other end.
That's hurtful.
When Kenny and I are in the same room.
It is true.
And people,
That's very true.
Kenny's older than me and nobody believes it. Yeah.
It is true. Yeah, I thought his again, so Corey, if he was to say, yeah, one day I'm going to die, I've got 55 more Christmases to go.
Yeah.
If I'm just that again, it's not that it's not true, but it just doesn't hit home. This guy's like, I got 15 more to go, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
He legit is close. Like, he's got way less ahead than behind.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure resonated with so many more of our people. That's one of the reasons why we bring in guest people. Like, it's intentional to go like, oh yeah, Glenn's able to speak in a way that's just going to be really different than a Corey or even us who speak regularly. So it's really helpful.
Yep.
Yeah. What else? What else? Other thoughts? You guys are just listening and enjoying. Like I said, I know you guys got to be in there a couple of times.
Yeah. So there was a couple of again, I sat in there and it was part of the service for 3 services, and so you always pick up a little bit more, and my brain starts spinning a little bit more as I'm just kind of immersed in the story. There was a couple of things that stood out to me that I thought about that I found it was really helpful. Let me give you 2, maybe 3. One of the things that jumped out at me is we always read this story, and it talks about that this woman was a widow. Now, my guess is most of us think of a widow and we think of an old lady. And so again, I've preached this text and it never really dawned on me, but I'm thinking, as what do you picture in your mind? If I just say widow, what picture comes in your mind? Well, what do we assume? How old do you think she would have been when she got married in that culture?
Yeah.
How old?
I mean, anywhere from 15 to 20.
Yeah, 100%. And they called this, in this text, the guy who gets raised is called a young man. So how old is he? 15 to 20?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Which makes this widow between 30 and 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 30 to 40 years old, which brought in the second idea for me as I was just sitting there pondering this text. And so you got to think of this as a young lady. Like, she's between 30 and 40 years old. And now she doesn't have a husband, and she loses her only son, who would be the one to help take care of her as she gets older. The second thing that popped in my head was this story isn't about the young man who gets raised, like, at all.
Right.
He is not the center of this story. Who's the center of the story?
His mom.
His mom. This is not about him at all. None of the spotlight is on him. It's all on her. Her background, her weeping, Jesus telling her not to cry. At the end of the story, it says, and Jesus gave the boy back to his mother. Like, she was at the center of it, which made me think when it talked about, when Glenn pointed out that he sat up and began to talk. And Glenn just said, I wonder what he said. And they just kind of moved on, right? I wonder what he said. I wonder what that conversation would have been like. It dawned on me. I'm like, I bet that conversation was, what did you do that for? Like, what? Why would you do that to me? Like, because it wasn't about him. Jesus didn't bring this guy back because for his own benefit. He brought this young man back for his mom's benefit. She was the one who benefited from his return. The young man did not. It actually reminded me of a a sketch, a routine. What do you call it when a comedian has a bit? Yeah, he had a bit. Have you ever heard of the bit? If you haven't, you need to go look it up. From John, what's his last name? John Crist has a whole bit about the raising of Lazarus, and it's hilarious. So if you haven't, that's the premise of it. The premise of the bit is, why did you do this to me? Why did you bring me back? I didn't want to. I was living my best life. I was in the kingdom of God in eternity, and you're bringing me back here with no air conditioning. What are we doing? Like it's really funny. So it's the raising of Lazarus from Lazarus's point of view. But I wonder if that's where this young man was coming from. Like, no, I was good, but Jesus didn't bring him back for the sake of the boy. He brought him back for the sake of this mom. And so that just
man, that's interesting.
Left me.
Even you saying that makes me, because Glenn had this line of how, Jesus saw her, right? The text says, and how difficult this must have been for him. Do you think he saw because again, maybe at this point, Jesus' dad is gone. There's a very good likelihood Jesus' dad isn't around.
For sure.
Right? His mom's a widow. Obviously, there's other kids, but like, does he see, knowing, Glenn made that point, he's like, Jesus knows what's coming. Does he like know, like, again, it's all, just looking at it, but again, he sees his mom and Mary in this young widow who he's about to be gone.
Yeah.
Right. And that he would identify in that way. Just even talking about that goes, well, yeah, of course, Jesus like knows. And what does Jesus do on the cross? Like, hey, John, this is not like, hey, I'm gone, but like this now.
Yep.
This now is your mom. Like this is your son. Like, take care of her.
Yeah.
In that way. Yeah. Because Jesus does seem to, which would make sense, right?
Yeah,
he gets
for
it.
sure. This
he gets
woman
it.
is the center of this story. It is not the boy who gets raised. He's not. He is a bit part in this
it's really good.
story. It's all about Jesus' compassion for this mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And out of the two crowds, he hones in on the one who's hurting the most.
Yep.
And just the way that I guess he draws near to the brokenhearted,
Yep.
And so when Glenn said, because Glenn, he took the second to say he saw her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to hear like the same, yep, Jesus sees you. And just the way that he laid it out, I'm like, man, that is so true. How, Jesus, he just pinpoints. There's two crowds. This is just
large crowds.
Yes, craziness. And that's where Jesus' heart lies, is with those who need the love the most.
Yeah.
And
what Luke doesn't record it. I think it's in Matthew. I don't know. Look up the parallel passage, but I think it's Matthew. Mm-hmm. Is it not?
Mark.
So I thought somewhere.
Let me look. Mark 5.
Where it talks about how the two large crowds, you had one going out and one coming in, and once this boy is raised, that they all return praising the Lord. Like there's this moment, and maybe I'm just making that up in my head, but
it's interesting. That is the Mark reference is for the Jairus' son. It's not even at least my cross reference.
So only Luke tells this story then?
Maybe.
It does say they were all filled with awe and praised God. They were all
They were
okay,
all there you
filled.
go. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's it. Yeah. So this large crowd goes from one was rejoicing, one was mourning, and after this moment, now everybody is returning. There's right. We're not going back out to the cemetery now. We're all going back in. We're all going to Nain. We're all going in, and they're all praising God. So
yeah. I love that he pointed out the prophet piece. It was so good. And then the reference to Elijah and Elisha. And Glenn said it a little bit differently. But I love that reference. One, I was like, oh man, that's a really good point. But two, just how he framed it as they had to pray to God to ask God to do this miracle.
Yep.
Jesus just speaks and he raises the kid from the dead. Right. Just such a good reminder. And again, something, maybe if I spent time studying, may have found that, excuse me, but just like, oh, I really appreciated it, kind of underlined it and wrote that down. And then just that last line that he pointed out is that God has come to help his people. Just this is the reality of who Jesus is. It was a really good text. It was there was a lot of stuff that was said that I think hit home with people for sure. Yep. Yeah. Well, we didn't have any questions today. Do you all have any other thoughts, takeaway, action points, anything that you thought, oh man, this was helpful, or hey, this is what I would, this is what I would say?
Yeah, I think he had another line in there where he talks, because he kept having those one-liners that he threw up on the screen, and it was
the Jesus.
That's
brings.
right. Jesus brings life wherever death has left damage. And I instantly thought of one of the families that I knew were in not the service I attended, but the one before. And I instantly thought of this family that has just gone through like such a tragic loss in their family. And the way that they have talked about just about life, about God, and their relationship with him, their relationship with Jesus, shows that statement that Glenn made to be so true. Like, this is a family that have felt the damage, incredible damage, from what death has brought to their family. And Jesus has been the one to fill them with life. Like, he has been the one that has been able to, they walk out of it going, I've never had this kind of desire to be close to Jesus. And it's almost a reminder of Ken's sermon a couple weeks ago, The Wise Builder. It ties very closely to that. Like, when you are the wise, when you build your foundation, when Christ is your foundation and you are the wise builder, it allows you, when death comes, when the storm comes and does its damage, it allows you to receive the life that Jesus can bring from it. And so I was just thinking of that family, like when we were talking about that, and I go, that's a perfect example of what Glenn's saying right now. So
yeah, I thought of because he made the point. He made the first thing he said was, how many marriages feel like they're dead? And I thought that, man, there was about 15 that popped in my head. They're on life support. And that's what we kind of talk about. Like, sometimes it does feel as if, people bringing us their, marriage, and it's on life support, and they're like, revive this thing. And a part of me believes, like, man, I just can't. But that's a lie. Right? Jesus can breathe life into the dead things. That's actually what he specializes in, right? And
that's the whole gospel we believe. If we don't believe he can revive dead marriages,
I know.
Then what are we even talking about for eternal life?
I know. And so again, it just is that reminder when he said that, I'm like, man, how many people were sitting in that room? Because I know some of them, like, man, this is never going to work, or they're never going to change, or my husband or wife are never, and like, we just give up on that at all. We just think, no, there's no way. And I'm like, man, wherever, like, Jesus can breathe life. And so it was just a good, I think, again, he said marriage. You said a couple of other things too, but that one just resonated with me. Just because the season we're walking through, just kind of as a staff and a team with people, just like, oh yeah, what a great message for people to be reminded of. Like, I feel like this is beyond hope. No, it's not. Like, this dude was dead, wrapped up. There was no hope left, and Glenn did a really good job of pointing that out. So I thought it was really good too. Jay, you got anything else?
Well, I would just concur with Glenn when he talks about how Jesus walks up and he says to the woman, don't cry. Like, as pastors, we've all been in those rooms. Yep. You don't say that. You don't say that. You don't say that ever, unless you have the ability to undo whatever it is they're crying about. And true. I don't know any of us who have any of the ability to undo what they're crying about. But Jesus does, because he is Lord even over death. And so I would just concur. In my 30 years of ministry, that's one of those things you pick up on quick. You don't tell them not to cry.
No.
You actually just keep tissues with you.
That's
so
right.
You can slide them across the table and go.
Pull them out of your moist pocket and hand them to someone.
You actually tell them, like, hey, it's fine. Because they'll try to, like, I'm so sorry. And you're like, nah, man, it's fine. Like, go. It's not offensive to me. Of course you are emotional in this moment, Of course you are a little saddened. Yeah, you're dealing with all this. So cool. Well, anything else before we conclude for today?
It's cool to see 4 baptisms in Prescott.
That was fun. It was, yeah. It was baptism Sunday. 3 in PV.
2 or 3,
yeah. 3 in PV. And so again, just as a church, just as a reminder, when we have these baptism Sundays, the goal is for you to invite that person you've been trying to invite, knowing we are going to talk directly to them. Like, we're going to have this moment, this opportunity for the people in your life who know are not followers of Jesus to go, oh, I want to be in. This is what this weekend is for. And so maybe we haven't done a good job of just relaying that to our church. But again, that's our desire. We care deeply about, again, what's the first half of our mission statement? Making more. Like, that's the first half. And this is what we want to do to set this out. It's been really cool because Luke provides us a lot of opportunities to do this.
Yeah. And if I was preaching this, obviously we bring different voices and do it a little different. I mean, this text does just preach the gospel because, again, it's such the image of this is the gospel, that we are all dead in our sin, and Jesus, through the Holy Spirit, speaks to our heart and says, get up, and brings life from death. And we got to experience that as people step from death to life through baptism. It's such the picture of the gospel is right here in this story of Jesus calling people to step out of death and into life at his command. Like, that is the gospel. And so it's just such a great text for us to have a baptism weekend.
Absolutely. So, well, I think that's it for today. Thanks for listening. See you Sunday.